What's up guys, Kyokai1994 here, gonna talk to you about anything, you guessed it, Dragon Ball, from Ball to Z and everything in between. And I first actually want to start off the video apologizing for my absence of last week. I've actually been transitioning between jobs from my old one and into my new one, so the schedule's been really hectic. I've had to actually work 2 jobs and it's been fairly stressful, but I'm back and ready again to talk to you guys about anything Dragon Ball. So today I have a very special guest with me back on the channel again, my main ninja, Mr.NinjaStar. What's up, man? How you been?
What's going on, everybody? I'm Mr.NinjaStar, and I'm happy to be making my return on Kyokai1994's channel. I've been good, dude. These past few weeks, school's been kind of on me right now, but I've been able to go through it, and luckily, winter break's coming up soon, and I'm hoping to be making some more videos then, and yeah, hope you've been well, man.
I've been pretty well, especially through this. Hopefully, maybe I can be on one of those videos soon in the winter break. Seems like everybody's been very stressed out recently, but yeah, so I want you guys to make sure that you go down to his channel. I'm going to have it linked in the description below. If you haven't already subbed to him, like I said, I'm going to leave it linked down in the description below, because Ninja makes some amazing content that I know you're going to enjoy. I don't even have to guess. I know you're going to enjoy. But today we are actually here to talk about something interesting going with the Tournament of Power, and no, it's not about the fight. We're going to talk about what we want to see happen after the Tournament of Power. It's been fantastic so far, but just like every other thing, it has to come to an end at one point. And when it comes to an end, we want to see what the door is going to bring for a new beginning. And me and Ninja have a couple cool ideas that we're going to kind of expand upon in this video today. So, yeah, we'll get it kicked off now, and the very first thing that I want to see happen after this Tournament of Power, saying that the wish doesn't actually bring back all of the universes, say somebody else is actually the MVP and gets to get their wish before our Heroes of Universe 7, I actually want to see a hunt for the Super Dragon Balls. That's what I actually want to see. I think it could expand really deep into some of these characters' stories that we're going to talk about soon. But I want to see what you feel, Ninja, is the first thing that you want to talk about for the hunt for the Super Dragon Balls arc.
So when it comes down to the hunt for the Super Dragon Balls arc, the idea that you proposed, this hunt for Dragon Balls type storyline has obviously been done before. Of course, there was that whole thing in the original Dragon Ball. They had that in the first arc, and then they also had the whole situation with the Red Ribbon Army stuff where they were sort of searching for the Dragon Balls as well in a way. It was kind of spread across, and with Z, sort of, not really. I mean, there was that element in Namek, don't get me wrong, but aside from that, it wasn't anything too big. And in GT, there was also that first arc, which tried to kind of parallel the original Dragon Ball series' take on that trope, but I feel it wasn't executed very well. But when it comes down to something like Super, it could execute it very well, because as we've seen, some ideas that you may think not that well could end up being probably some of the best in the entire franchise. The example that I'm going to use isn't really that related to kind of the context for what the after Tournament of Power is going to be, but the Goku Black stuff, Evil Goku sounds like a terrible idea on paper,
but it came out fantastic.
Facts. So of course, you know, ideas, I believe that Toei can execute this fairly well with the whole hunt for Super Dragon Balls, as long as they get the adventure aspect going, as long as they make it entertaining, because GT did certainly have that world building aspect to it, but if I couldn't retain interest, then what's the point of introducing it in the first place? And I feel with Super, it's introduced it, but it hasn't made me care for it as much, but, you know, that could very well change with the world building that it's going to do.
The main thing that I don't know what's gonna perfectly happen, because I could be wrong, I could be watching a different series than everybody else, but to my knowledge it seemed that the Dragon Balls were split between Universe 6 and 7, so unless maybe Champa, you know, subtly didn't realize that he had gone through all the universes, or at least 7 of the universes, to get the balls, I don't know how they're going to scatter them. If we don't have all of the universes actually wished back from whatever MVP of the tournament makes the wish, then maybe they'll all go to Universe 7, or maybe they'll go to the other universes that did not have to compete in the actual tournament. We can have a lot of world building there, like what you were speaking about, so we could have some kind of adventure of these universes that haven't been talked about, so we could have that expanded upon, which would be fantastic. Or we could have it all just in Universe 7, and it could be a quick little 5-6 episode arc. Now, with them finding all of the Dragon Balls, we can have individual character development still, which is always an amazing thing, and we can have individual or grouped adventures through, certain areas of the universe. But at the end of the arc, I do feel that they will use the Super Dragon Balls again to actually wish back Universe 6, if not all of the other universes. I would assume that it would be all the universes, but I know that if they make the wish, it's going to be for Universe 6, because them wishing back Universe 6 actually leads us into our next little tad bit of an arc. They may be able to make this one moderately long, but I actually want them to dive into Planet Sadala and have Vegeta go to Planet Sadala and, have a life-changing experience. This is his Nirvana moment or something along those lines. I don't personally feel that Goku would be involved in that. To me, he doesn't care about the science at all. He really just thinks of himself as an Earthling mostly. But I would really like to see Vegeta have a lone adventure to Sadala, and we could have not a whole arc, but we can have an arc centered around Vegeta, so that all of us Vegeta fanboys like myself can be satisfied with Super for once. But I don't know what you exactly want to see out of a Planet Sadala arc, Ninja. I don't know if you have some major thoughts on it or not.
So when it comes down to a Planet Sadala arc in Dragon Ball Super after the Tournament of Power, I feel that could be probably one of the best parts to come from this franchise, because I've been talking about world building so much. It's a story element I think is an absolute necessity for these big series like, Dragon Ball and all that. And with Planet Sadala, it could maybe make the world building a lot more evident. Because let's be real, the whole universe system, we haven't cared for most of them. The ones we really care about or are interested in are Universe 6, which wasn't even introduced in the tournament. It was introduced in the Universe 6 saga. And Universe 11 was the only, and of course Universe 7, we already know about that. Universe 11, and the only reason we like that universe is because of the Pride Troopers. And if you don't like the Pride Troopers, you probably don't care at all. So Super hasn't done a really good job for making us care about most of these other universes. They just haven't been as evident to us as someone like Jiren or Hit or Kaba or anyone like that. Because let's be real, when Universe 4 got erased, you kind of forgot they even existed in the first place. Universe 9's death was certainly emotional, but what else do you remember from that team aside from Basil and the trio de dangers? That was the only thing that stuck to me, at least. Everyone else, the other universes, were very just I guess they were Dragon Ball and they fit for the context of Dragon Ball, but they didn't really make me care enough. But with the whole Planet Sadala thing, they can at least make one of their strongest points even stronger, and that's the whole Universe 6 side of things, and then also Planet Sadala, Kaba, that whole thing. And I still stand by the statement that the whole Vegeta-Kaba relationship was the best part of the Universe 6 saga, just because of how much it did, how much development it showed for Vegeta. It showed me gaining quite a bit of interest for the Universe 6 Saiyans, and you also have many people who don't like Dragon Ball Super as a whole, but they really like the whole Vegeta-Kaba relationship. That goes to show how much potential this thing has, and I feel with this maybe mini arc that they're going for, it could truly exemplify on that potential, showing Vegeta another side, maybe seeing what his people were like kind of back then, because he was a younger child when Planet Vegeta got erased, so we didn't see too much of it. Maybe he gets to relive those moments and have a lot more pride being a Saiyan than he once was. Because yes, he can still balance out being an Earthling and all that, but at the same time, he's still more prideful than Goku at the end of the day. Because Goku, he doesn't really care. I just feel Goku shouldn't be there. It should be a mostly Vegeta-centered arc.
No, yeah, I agree. Especially since he had two homeworlds that don't exist anymore, like with Vegeta being blown up, and then whatever actually initially happened to Planet Sadal in Universe 7. But it would be a very touching moment for him to get his roots back, and maybe that's the thing that actually interlocks that new transformation in him, or unlocks that hidden potential that he needed to overcome whatever barriers he has with limit and strength. I don't want to say that it would be what gives him Ultra Instinct or anything like that, but this might be what gives him the edge over Kakarot in his mind, or gives him the edge over Kakarot for real in the series. But I really would love to see some more character building with him personally. A little bit more depth, obviously, but the reason why I want to see a little bit more character development with Vegeta is because after this arc, I actually want to see Goku versus Vegeta round whatever. I want to see Goku versus Vegeta, maybe not the final bout, but a very deciding bout, and see them test their limits against each other, because we see them go back and forth and train and be nemesis and things along that nature for the past 30 years. We've seen this, but I would love for them to acknowledge in the series maybe a final little check of this person's stronger over this person.
I feel, though, with that being said, I like what you said, who's being stronger, but at the same time, it makes me not want to know who's stronger because they're so close in power. What I was thinking maybe is this maybe how the fight can sort of go. It could go one of two ways. It could go the way that I originally preferred, and that's that Vegeta does not gain Ultra Instinct. And I don't want to get too sidetracked here because this is about Goku versus Vegeta, not Vegeta himself. But I'll just say this briefly. I don't think Vegeta should get Ultra Instinct because it's a move that fits for the context of Goku with being able to fight without moving. Goku, often he uses his head, sure, but he's mostly a hands-on type guy, whereas Vegeta's a lot more tactical, so I feel that fighting without thinking doesn't really fit for his character. But after really seeing more of Ultra Instinct, I've realized that it isn't just about that, and that's why I've kind of shifted my focus. And I saw a really good theory brought up where it's basically like Ultra Instinct has two or more halves to it. There's the defensive side of Ultra Instinct, and then there's the offensive, and this is all represented by an aura. If you remember in the Dragon Ball Super opening, like the one that's we're seeing like every episode in Tournament of Power, Goku has this kind of red aura to him. Now, granted, you could say that's just him breaking his shell, and that was a colorization thing, but I still think that could be interesting to note because laterwards we saw in the in the actual series, like when Goku attained Ultra Instinct for real this time in episode 110, he broke through a blue shell. So maybe there's two different types here. Maybe there's an attacking Ultra Instinct, and in episode 110, Goku tapped into the defensive side. And let's be real here. While Ultra Instinct is a powerful technique, the thing that sticks out from what we saw with Goku is he was able to dodge anything, and he had like the perfect defense. His offense wasn't really anything too significant. It seemed about the same. And I feel like with Vegeta, though, it could be somewhat the opposite, where his defense is still there, but it's insanely attacking. It's insane attacking power. I can't really figure out a loophole the way I could for like the defensive side because attack is just way too hard to like come up with a solid solution. But I feel if Vegeta were to maybe get that kind of reddish aura going and he clashes with Goku with the bluish offensive versus defense, it could make for such an interesting battle that I think would be a battle of will, wits, everything like that. I think that would be amazing to see, and I wouldn't even care who the victor is. That would just, oh my god, Toei, please do that right if you ever end up doing it.
No, yeah, I would love for them to do that because I briefly touched upon in my last video that I would want to see Goku versus Beerus round 2, but I feel like an actual ultimate send-off for this series, because theoretically they will continue to do a Dragon Ball show until there's no profitability out of it. So even if they don't continue Super, they may start a new Dragon Ball series. But I think that giving this the light of day would give the fans what they really needed out of the very first arc of Dragon Ball Z. We needed to see who was the better Saiyan, Vegeta or Goku. So I feel like that would be an ultimate send-off for the series, so that if anything happens after that, it could just be addition to the greatness that is the fights in life of Goku and everything like that. So it'd be really interesting to see Goku and Vegeta have this ultimate fight that maybe we don't even have to end to see who the exact victor is. Maybe they can just specify at a later time, you know, kind of end off on some kind of weird foreshadowing. I mean, kind of like what Dragon Ball Online did about the going to another planet and supernovaing. We don't have to have that exactly, but I mean, we could have some kind of payoff that is off screen but still satisfying to the characters, and it would, I think, maybe transition well into something I was talking about in my last video about Goku versus Beerus Round 2. If not, that being before this, and Vegeta thinking he can take him on and actually take Goku on and be the ultimate victor. But these are a lot of little interesting arcs that we've been thinking about. Ninja, if you have any other ideas for any arcs that you would like to talk about, you're more than welcome to throw that into the ring real quick.
I guess this is not really an arc, maybe an episode. I don't want to drag this out too much. Video is already kind of long. But I want to kind of bring up something about the androids, or artificial humans, whatever you want to say. 17 and 18, essentially. 17 and 18, I feel, have been one of my favorite parts of this tournament and from the Universe 7 team, like, as a whole. The amount of interesting interactions that they have between each other, that whole 17 episode, not the one where he and Goku do those things. No, that was like do the thing in like the park, and that was a weird episode. But like like his fight with Goku and him interacting. I thought that was a great episode, and it was great to see 17 return again, especially that one 17 and 18 versus Universe 2. I love that episode. It made for some great interactions. We got little things like 17 healing 18 and them having like a good talk about it. While it's happening all at once, and it gives the sense of humanity to these artificial humans. It's kind of funny, but I just feel if you have maybe an episode or two where the two are just having a good time, where we see them kind of catch up on what they've missed up upon for like the past few years, because I mean I think they do still make contact with one another, but I don't think like it's. Maybe they could write themselves out of that in a way. I am not too sure about it, but I feel we need more interactions between these two, because I don't think having 17 just for this one term and then shrugging him off later words is going to do him any well. I've really enjoyed 17 ever since he's been like reintroduced, and I want to see more of him, especially for like the future arcs of Super and all that. I want him to be up there with 17 and Piccolo and with 18 and Piccolo and Gohan and all of them, and Tenshin on for like their next major battle. I legit want to see him again, and I feel him having that like bond with 18 and maybe that episode or maybe that filler segment, I don't know, definitely not an arc. Maybe that could be kind of the episode following the Gohan stuff. That could build for some chemistry and builds for some more chemistry and build that relationship even more.
Yeah, so my favorite arc of Z was actually the Artificial Humans arc. So anything that has the Jinzo Niangans in it is fine with me. So I would love to see a couple episodes with them as well. But I think that's where we're actually going to trail off for today. I do want to thank everybody for their time and patience. I know it was a while. I'm still trying to get one video out a week, so I mean, I'm back to working and making sure that there's content for you guys. I always love your feedback, and I love to see all of the support that I've had, especially over this last week. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but a lot of people reached out to me on Twitter from my posts, and it was awesome to see. I want to thank you guys so much for that. It really meant a lot to me, especially people telling me, take as much time as you need, do whatever you need to. They understand, and that's something about this community that I really like. There is a negative aspect to part of this community, but the love and just bonds that happen in this community are fantastic. And again, some of the best friends I've ever made are on the internet, and I know a lot of people call that as BS, but I honestly feel that way. So I do want to thank you guys again. I want you guys to make sure that you go down to the link in the description below and you check out Mr.NinjaStar, like I told you to at the beginning. Now that we've had time to talk, if you haven't seen him before, go check the link, see what's going on his channel, and definitely hit the subscribe button over there as well. I want you guys to tell me what thoughts you have on different arcs that we could see after the Tournament of Power, and I want you guys to tell me in the comments section below. And I want you guys to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, if you enjoyed the conversation. If you've stuck around this long, definitely think about hitting that subscribe button to get more content like this from me in the future. And enjoyed it. It means a lot and gives a lot of feedback to me. But I want you guys to have an awesome day, and I'll catch you guys next time.